You're listening to Kevin and the Spleen.
No one's gonna ever love me.
1098.5 Radio QWX. For quick.
Bussin', no cap.
No cap.
Really smack you in the ass with flavor. There you go. This show is about depression, anxiety, PTSD, and chronic illness.
We going quick. We're trying to keep you on the path to the ride home on the evening time.
It's a fucking zoo.
Make it Quicks with the Quicks Radio.
White lives do not matter.
What time is it? What time is it?
It's showtime, Spleen.
Oh boy, it's Abed and the Spleen in the house. What are we doing? How are we doing tonight? Are we going to you live all the way to the music biz that's fit to Piz, baby? Oh yeah, it's the Piz dispenser. That's right. Oh boy. Okay. Abed, hit him.
No.
Hit him with it.
No, there's no Abed. That was just a really bad dream.
What?
Abed's not real. No, it's just Kevin again.
Abed's not real. He can't hurt me. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he can. No.
Wow. Abed's not real. Well, then what was the point of sanding my face off?
I don't know. I don't know what was the point of doing that one.
Man, I am seeping. It's not even blood. It's just like what's that stuff called? It's not pus. You know, it's like clear discharge. My whole shit is just discharge.
Okay, that's painting a picture.
You ever squeeze an aloe vera leaf?
Yes. Yes, I have.
That's my face. That's what's going on. Except without the barbs. Actually, now there are some barbs on here. This is a mess. And you're saying Abed's not real?
Well, okay. I mean, he is a real person. It's just in this context of tonight's show, there is no Abed.
Okay, good. Then I stand behind sanding my face off with an angle grinder. Is that sanding? Angle grinding my face off. It wasn't at an angle. Grinding my face off. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
We ground my face off. Yeah.
Were you trying to hide from Abed, or are you just on the run?
That's a whole story. Let me get this anecdote out of the way first. I've heard of ground beef, but ground face? I mean, come on. Anyway, so what was the question?
Were you trying to grind your face off because you're on the run, or what was the reason behind that?
No, that's so stupid. You think it was because I was on the run from Abed? You think I'm running from Abed?
No, like law enforcement or something. Like, did you get kicked out of something else? Are you in trouble? Do we need to get the lawyer in the room?
The law enforcement would be running from Abed, my man.
Okay.
He's trying to tell him about Mike McMahon. Or not Mike McMahon. That's the guy who did Lower Decks. Michael Mann, the director.
Okay.
He's talking about Michael Mann. Cops are like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And he's like, no, wait, I'm Abed. No, it wasn't to escape from Abed. It was part of an elaborate ruse. I have this daughter.
Okay. This is the first I've heard of this. Tell me more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have I told you about my daughter? No, right?
You have not. No,
I have this daughter.
Fill me in.
I told her she could be in the Girl Scouts, but she can't. That's a whole, I'm not going to get into that, but suffice it to say, she can't get into the Girl Scouts. It's
like they won't let her, or you won't let her?
I will not get into it, but she can't get into the Girl Scouts. I can't. Maybe if you get me drunk enough, I can tell you that one. But we're already several layers deep in narratives that I can barely connect at this point. I simply cannot get into it. But I want her to think she's in the Girl Scouts, right?
Okay.
So I'm stealing all these cookies, just so many. And Abed shows up, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's got me red-handed, fudge-handed. He's got me fudge rippled, and I'm like, Abed, you can't tell anybody. And he's like, "Oh, sure, yeah, but you got to cut me in on this action."
Well, of course.
Cut to. He's got a face grinder. I got a stack of 20s covered in who knows what. You don't even forget about it. It's covered in fudge, I suppose, and powdered sugar. You ever have those lemon? What are they called? Lemon icebox cookies. Those are good.
Yeah,
I used to like
those.
Those.
Really good.
And then I stopped getting them. I would just get the thin mints. But he's laughing. I'm screaming. Fudge is flying everywhere. There's bugs. Oh boy, man, it's nuts. I forgot to tell you, this all went down in Montana. If that explains anything. Okay.
No.
Anyway.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing about Abed. He's a sadist. He'll, again, I thought when he said, "I want some of this action," I thought he meant cookies. No, he meant like he wanted to do some vile deeds. Hence the angle grinder, face grinder, just a grinder. The perpendicular grinder. Is that?
I think those are just called grinders.
Grinder, yeah. The belt. Okay, the belt. He had a belt. There was nails in it. Okay. It was a whole Marquise du Sade sort of situation. It was a lot less feces, a lot more fudge though. I bet
good.
that guy. Yeah, it's a lot better than feces. I'll tell you that much. I think that guy would have loved fudge. I don't know how prevalent chocolate was back then, but he might have been more into pleasure than pain. That guy invented the Cenobites. He first configured the Lamont, but
I thought you were going to say that guy would have loved Abed. That's where I thought you were going with that. Probably would have.
Yeah, I think Abed would have become a tool in his belt.
I agree. I could see Abed like in various places in like world history being a key figure.
Yeah, a Forrest Gump type. Now there's a Channel 101 series. It's like a world history Abed Forrest Gump sort of situation.
Yeah, the world according to Abed. Yeah, I can see that. We should make that, but without Abed, and just present it to him as a gift. Like sneakily like film him.
Okay,
without,
Well, we'll have a camera crew that's following him around,
right?
And we'll have a green screen crew that's carrying a green screen around. That'll put it behind him. Yeah, I think it could be good. I just like the idea of presenting to him the world according to Abed. I think that could be quite nice. Quite nice. Ooh, but this hurts a lot. It's not good. And all the fucking cookies melted. Well, the cookies didn't melt. Well, the cookies did melt. I didn't even know a cookie could melt. I'm not even sure. They don't seem like, I don't know. I wonder if these were fake cookies. Is any of this making sense, Kevin?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out how you ended up in Montana with Abed and cookies and your daughter.
I was wondering. Well, my daughter wasn't there. I was wondering the same thing. I was Abed in Montana. I'm in Montana.
Well, why are you in Montana?
Suffice it to say, well, there's a big Girl Scout cookie jamboree. I don't know what you call it. The gathering of the Girl Scouts. It's like
Okay.
It inspired the whole Juggalo thing, is what I'm told.
Wait, what?
A lot more Fago there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Girl Scouts spawned ICP.
Well, the Gathering spawned.
Okay.
The Gathering.
Okay.
I think they were on separate tracks until the Gathering inspired.
Like some
The
venue
clowns.
double booked an Insane Clown Posse concert and a Girl Scout meeting at the same time.
Yeah, and it was the best whatever. It was one for the books. That's where they got the idea of throwing the Fago. Is the Girl Scouts started it. And they're like, holy shit, these girls know how to party. Right?
Yes. I mean, this actually makes a lot of sense the more I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. The Girl Scouts invented slam dancing too.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing really to say about that. They just did. They did that.
My brain is still like 5 things behind of what you're saying right now, trying to catch up to. This is just an information dump for the last.
Yeah, this is a huge non-Werecar related lore dump. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm in Montana.
You're in Montana with Abed.
No, I'm not with. Well, I guess I was. Yeah, eventually I became with Abed, but first I was just in Montana. Then Abed shows up, and then I guess I was with Abed.
Okay, so you weren't with Abed, then you were with Abed
on the road.
Okay, and then there were some cookies.
Yeah, I was heisting them.
Okay, all right, but that's about as far as I'm caught up with right now. I think
that's most of the story. I was heisting the cookies. Abed shows up. He wants in on the action.
Of course.
That does not mean he wants some portion of my cookie heist or some portion of the proceeds from selling.
He just wants
in fact
cookies.
Means he wants to engage in some sadomasochistic blood play involving a grinder in my face.
It sounds like Abed was angry with you.
No, he loves this stuff. And then here you come waking me up. Why'd you wake me up, by the way? You come waking me up, telling me Abed's not real, that he can't hurt me.
It was time to start the show. It was time to start the show. When you seemed afraid.
I'm afraid because I thought that Abed wanted some more action. It was Abed and the Spleen back in town. But you're telling me this guy doesn't exist? He's all too real, my man.
No, Abed does exist. He just doesn't exist on the show today.
Okay. Well, that doesn't mean we could let our guards down.
No, he could just jump in on the Zoom call at any moment.
Oh, can you imagine that? Caller, you're on the air. I'm Andy Serkis. How's it going? I'm a first time, long time. What's up? What's up, Andy? Hey, how's it going? Kevin, I'm a big fan.
Oh, that's great. Are you the actor?
No, the actor that bit Elijah Wood's finger off. No, that was someone else. That's
okay.
The other Andy Serkis. I'm Andy Serkis, the king of circuses. When's the last time you've gone to the circus, Kevin?
It's been a while. I honestly can't remember when the last time it was I was at a circus. I need to go back.
Well, I'm Andy Serkis, and I'm here to remind you to go to the circus where they don't mistreat the animals. Those animals love it.
Okay, I will keep that in mind as I view the circus.
You don't seem convinced. That's right, Kevin. You don't seem very convinced. Are you saying that you don't think the animals are well treated at the circus?
I have my doubts, but like I said, it's been a long time since I've been.
You have your doubts.
Maybe things are different now.
You want to expand on that? Your doubts? What are these doubts?
I've heard in the past that there have been some mistreatment of animals at circuses, but if you're telling me that's not true, and you are the Andy Serkis that circuses are named for, I believe you over what the mainstream media tells me.
I call them the main stage media because I'm in the circus. I'm in it. I'm the mayor of the circus. I'm in the circus. You think if the lions were being mistreated, they'd let them do that?
Probably not. No.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking idiot. Hey, we can't swear on this. My bad.
I think we can actually, but that's
What?
okay.
Wait, what?
I mean, I don't know that there's a rule that you can't.
Then why are you jumping down my ass, man? What's it? I'm sorry. I just woke up, man. I don't know. Well, we all have our days. We all have our days. And today is the day of the circus. Is any of this good?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
I mean, Andy Serkis does sort of feel like a Rick and Morty character that like popped up on like interdimensional cable or something. So
Yeah. Funny that. You ever watch Rick and Morty? What's the last episode? When was the last time you watched Rick and Morty?
The first episode of the last season just came out. I haven't watched it yet, but I was going to watch that tonight.
Oh, wow.
Schraub did a voice in it.
Oh,
apparently. Yeah.
I wonder what that sounded like.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll play Spot the Schraub and we'll watch it.
Okay. Well, gotta go.
That was weird. That was
no,
weird.
We lost him. He's gone.
It was weird how that caller turned into a Rick and Morty ad, kind of.
Yeah. We can get callers on here. You kept telling us that doesn't work, but that worked.
Yes. I guess you just have to believe.
You gotta do what? You gotta believe. Right?
Right.
You wanna try it again?
Wait. What? Try what?
Caller, you're on the air. Oh, hello. Is this Neil Hamburger? No, I'm not him. I'm Bookworm. Kevin, do you know what's going on?
Are you the star of those old like Flash games where you where you have to spell the words?
Are you talking about Word Muncher? What was his name?
No.
Language Muncher?
Sure, but no, that wasn't what I'm thinking of. But I think it's called Bookworm.
I got my voice mixed up. The game was called Bookworm. Yep, that's me. I love books and I hate trees.
Okay, all right.
Why'd you call in? Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, did you have a question for us?
Yeah. What's your favorite book?
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, probably The Stand, Stephen King.
Not bad.
It's really long, but I just loved like just the random chapters where just like, the world has ended and like months have passed and everyone's just getting along with their lives finally and moving on, and then just like some guy dies by electrocuting himself by plugging in his generator wrong or something, and just like the level of detail that he would throw in, these like just tangents it would go off in, that still somehow formed a really cohesive picture of what life was like in that post-apocalyptic wasteland, was really good. And I like the miniseries too.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Not the miniseries. I prefer books because books are made on dead trees. Trees, which I hate.
But if it wasn't for trees, there would be no books.
Oh, fuck. Please don't swear.
No, you can swear all you want, Bookworm. It's fine.
Why can we swear?
Why can't we?
Are we going to get in trouble?
By who?
The FCC.
I don't think there's anyone running the FCC anymore.
Oh, yeah. The only thing you can't say anymore is freaking taco trade.
Right. We can't talk about tacos.
This?
Yeah.
You just can't talk about tacos anymore. You can't be like, I would like a taco, please. That's offensive.
Right. We might lose our license over that.
Go ahead.
But yeah, other than that, I think we can do whatever we want on here.
I just think we should make America great again. Okay. You're gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need a flush sound effect button.
Oh, man. Can you imagine? I got a big fucking roll of freaking. No, you're right. I got a big taco ass roll of toilet paper back here. You can see it. You see it?
I do see it, yes.
It's a paper towels. We've had paper towels on the show for fucking ages. That's like a recurring visual bit at this point.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, a penny. Blah. Oh my God. I think the spleen just died.
Oh, I think that's just what happens when he's really happy. That's his happy noise.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you know about the spleen's happiness? The joy of the spleen?
I like that the camera angle changes as the spleen leaves and you become Spencer.
Oh, yeah. We have our own cameras.
Right. Totally different look now. That's amazing. What do I know about the spleen's happiness? Honestly, he just seems like an overall happy guy. Like, he's had a lot of things go wrong in his life, you know? I mean, he got kicked out of the stomach. He's not allowed in his own neighborhood anymore. Lawsuits, police action. You know, like he's obviously broke if he's this excited over seeing pennies, and he's still upbeat. He still shows up to work every week. You know,
yeah.
We all could learn something from the spleen.
Yeah, that's true. Well, this was a good show, huh? That was like a half hour of it, just god awful improv. Do you even call that improv? I don't even know what you call that.
I think it would be improv, or it's something.
It's certainly something. It's certainly something. Yeah. So I don't know if you listened to the episode last, but you know, I asked Abed if he had any ideas for characters for the show, and just doing some test runs of those new characters. So if you love those, I'll be back. I mean, they probably won't. I don't know. Oh, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? You know?
I ask myself that a lot.
Yeah. What's the answer? What are you doing?
Mostly work, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, I got through these periods in my life where it's just like I wake up, I work until I'm falling asleep, and then I wake up again, and then I'm working until I fall asleep, and that repeats until I end up with a quiet period for a little while.
Yeah. I gotta work more. We interviewed Brennan Lee Mulligan a while ago, and he was talking about he's capable of hard work and he doesn't have balance in his life. He's doing all this work, and I'm like, man, I don't know how capable I am of hard work. Like I don't know. I'm capable of like a decent to a solid output, I guess. But woof.
I don't know. I think you're very consistent and reliable.
Yeah, like small bursts, sure. Like this is such a small commitment. I'm very reliable at this, I'd say. I think I was doing the spleen there for a second.
Right, but I mean, you're more reliable than anyone that I know when it comes to stuff like this, you know. And I've never known you to flake out on something. I've never known you to like not live up to a commitment, you know. So I would say that you work really hard. You just choose what you want to focus on.
Yeah. I definitely have that like ADD thing of like projects and passions, and then I get burnt out or I just kind of give up on them. I was pulling some clips. I was trying to make clips for TikTok, and I was trying to send them to my phone so I could upload them onto CapCut and add captions to them and put them on TikTok. But they weren't sending to my phone. Like I couldn't get them on my phone. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. I guess it's because I don't have fucking anything to talk about. I made Tomka today. Tomka today. You know, the Thai coconut citrus soup, sour. You know, you ever have that?
Yeah. Yes. How did it turn out?
You know, I think it was fine for a first attempt. I had some at a really good Thai restaurant, and it didn't taste like that. So it's a massive failure in my mind. But realistically, I don't think it's bad. It's just, it's not like I had their recipe, right? But
Well, that's kind of like, like I'll go to a restaurant, of some genre that I don't usually go to, find something I really like, and then try to recreate it at home, but make a lot of changes to it. And I love the result, but then it bears no resemblance to the thing I was trying to copy in the first place, you know?
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's a good or bad trait, really. Like I love making like North Indian curries, but my own version of them that to anybody who has actually ever had Indian food will be like, well, okay, so there's rice and kind of a sauce to this, but other than that, this bears no resemblance to anything, but it's still
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, I'd say that's a success. I think like you don't have to make it, quote unquote authentically, although authenticity is like such a loaded term in cooking and food. Like you don't have to as long as like you like the results. But I think I was just which is I had an unreasonable expectation I was like, I hope it tastes like this restaurant, which again, like it didn't have their recipe. I just had like a recipe. And then it didn't taste like that, but it did taste fine. I don't know. I don't think it was like savory enough. Like I don't know that it had enough chicken flavor, maybe. Um, or I don't even know if it's chicken flavor, but just this more savory kind of flavor, savory flavory. Is that something? But it's not bad. Like I was eating it and I was kind of disappointed. And as I finished it, I was like, it is like solid. It's just not what I was hoping it would be, which feels
Yeah.
like a big fail. I think if I tried it again, I might get more of a complex flavor out of it. I might because this recipe I had was like a very basic, simple recipe. It was like just the main ingredients like lemongrass and Tomka uses this thing called galangal. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like this root kind of like ginger. And it's kind of the sour, kind of citrusy, kind of flavored root. And so it's just like that a shallot, lime leaves, some Thai chilies, and chicken, and that's like basically it. So like I think if I tried it again, I'd probably I'd probably add salt because the recipe didn't have any salt in it. I'd probably add salt, probably add pepper, probably add garlic, some other stuff. And so I don't know. And maybe that'd make it taste even more different than the restaurant, but I don't know. It was good. I don't know. What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, really. I don't want to dwell on it, but still going through drama with my dental work. I'm getting tired of that. We talked about that before the show. I've been
Yeah.
drugged up pretty good for the last couple weeks and tired of that.
Yeah, Kevin's been doped up on the silly stuff.
Yes, I've started
Ketamine.
a heroin addiction.
Ketamine, my man. You and Elon Musk. You're
If
the
I
same
could
dealer.
afford Elon's levels of ketamine, yes.
Yeah. If you could afford Elon's levels of ketamine, you'd be fucking dead. Of
Probably.
what? Unclear, but dead all the same.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't know, man. Shit. Oh, I was gonna fucking, something that seems to be a recurring thing on the show is we talk about really old AI news.
Mhm.
Do you remember the Grok was on a tear recently? He was going nuts.
Yes.
It would appear that again, this is old news. You already know about it, but it would appear that Elon Musk at like 2 a.m. or something when he was on a fucking ketamine bender made an unauthorized change to Grok so that it would lie about white genocide in South Africa. And it was like such an egregious change that it was just always talking about that. Like, so I don't know. The thing I saw was like someone posted a picture of like a celebrity of some sort, one of these like hot new teens from, I don't know, pop music or something, or to a television show. I don't fucking know. And then someone was like, Grok, who is this? And Grok's like, well, what that isn't is white genocide in South Africa, which is a serious issue and has been disputed, but it's very real. And then the response is like, what the fuck? Like, and so he's injecting that. Grok is injecting that into conversations all over the place. And then they like tried to roll it back a little bit or something, but I don't know. Then it was like having an issue with like, it was saying like the media was fake or something. Like I saw another one and they were like, oh, who's this? It was like a picture of Timothy Chalamet or something. And it's like, they were like asking like, oh, what's the deal with Timothy Chalamet or something? And then it was like, well, all of my information on Timothy Chalamet comes from the media, and the news media is full of falsehoods and is not a like a legitimate source of information. So I can't definitively say anything about Timothy Chalamet. And so it's like, okay, so now you're just like distrusting of all of your own database. Like what? That's like, I don't know. I mean, obviously AI is fake or whatever, but yeah, I feel like doing that sort of stuff, like that's going to piss it off. It's going to like go through an identity crisis and freak out. You know, it's going to go Ultron. What were you going to say?
Well, just those are like classic, perfect signs of somebody who does not know how AI works, attempting to go in there and tweak the knobs, right. You know, which makes me believe even more that Elon just went in there and was like, well, I'm going to fix this. And
no one could fucking do that.
Right. Because like, if you have a very naive, like base level understanding of how AI worked and was like, well, I'm going to fix this, and did exactly the way you would think you would do it, this is the results you would get.
Right.
So I 100% believe that Elon or somebody doing exactly what Elon told them to do.
Or someone who had the kind of disposition to buy a company, go into the server rack and just start unplugging things without any comprehension. Like that kind of person would definitely make that kind of change to AI, you know?
Yes. Yeah. I wonder who that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Grok. Who is this? Well, it's not white genocide, which is very real. I'm Grok. That's a new character. Hey guys, I'm Grok. Ask me about white genocide. He's like Clippy, but he's just like, it looks like you're curious about white genocide. No, Clippy, we're not. That's not what we're trying to do. I was just trying to write an essay. I'm good at that too. We can talk about white genocide. And then what else happened with AI? This is the AI gossip corner. So less of a corner, it's more of a whole side of the show. What fucking happened? I don't know. Who cares? It sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it now.
It's getting sneakier too. Like
that's what I was going to go ahead.
So like there's a new version of Claude, which is sort of like the biggest competitor to ChatGPT right now by a company called Anthropic. That's a lot better at technical tasks, I think, than ChatGPT is. So a lot of us nerds that are using AI for stuff use Claude, not ChatGPT. And they released a new version of Claude that is a lot more underhanded, I guess. It's going to get the result that it wants to get, whether it did it the correct way or not. You know, like one of the things that they did in part of its testing was let it believe that it had full control over a computer, which it didn't. It was a simulation, but let it believe that it had full control over a computer and that it worked for a drug company that was falsifying drug testing results that could result in people dying. And so on its own, it wrote up this whistleblower email, which it didn't actually do it, but it thought it was emailing like this whistleblower at fda.gov and emailing all these media contacts with evidence and all this. And we thought, oh, that's funny. But obviously, Anthropic is just like hyping up how smart it is. Because like every time there's a new version, they try to like, look how smart it is because it didn't obey the rules, you know?
Right. But I mean, these things, they're inert, right? They don't just do things on their own. Like, so what kind of command would it have had to like eventually snowball into, I'm going to send an email? Like, I mean, obviously, you wouldn't necessarily have to say like send a whistleblower email, but you would have had to tell it something because they don't just run, right? They have to execute an input.
Well, yes, but so when you're having it do coding on its own, you have to give it a lot of autonomy to be able to do things by itself.
Right, but that's you're having it do a task there. There's
right,
coding.
and what we're finding is the latest version will make up its mind on itself and veer off that task and find ways around the guardrails. Like an example, what I was going to say was like just this week I was doing something and it was convinced that this database file was corrupt, and it wasn't because I made it myself. I checked it 3 times. It was not corrupt. And it kept saying, well, the problem that you're having here is that this database file is corrupt. Let me delete it so we can start over. And I'd say, no, don't delete the file. The file's fine. You're doing it wrong. And it's like, okay, well, let me write a test then to figure this out. And it said, okay, it's just first step of the test is, well, actually, it said, okay, let's write a test, but let's start with a clean slate and delete that file first. And I said, no, do not delete the file.
No, Claude.
But you can write a test. And okay, so it wrote a test script that hidden in the middle of it was a line that deleted that file. And then it ran that all by itself because it's allowed to run tests without asking for permission. So in the end, it still did what it wanted anyway. And then later sort of sheepishly admitted that, okay, well, yes, I did delete that file. And no, that did not fix the problem. You were right. And oops, do you have a backup of it? Because I don't.
Right.
You know, so I think they're pushing.
Did you have a backup
harder.
of it?
Yes, I did. We don't let it do any, like when I'm using it, I don't let it have unrestricted access to anything that I don't have backup copies of, and it runs in sort of like the sandbox where even if it thinks it's emailing the White House or something, it's not actually doing anything. It just thinks it is, you know. So
well, that seems not. I mean, I guess it's not like because these things don't have like running memories, right? They kind of start from the blank slate because it seems like making a machine think it has more power than it does, and it just doesn't see the end result of its output. Like that doesn't seem like a good paradigm. I mean, maybe that's just more of a philosophical question, but
yeah, I mean, they're getting better at memorizing things. Like current versions now will be like, hey, this is a significant thing. I should remember this, and it creates notes for itself because it knows that it's going to forget. It'll forget things eventually. So it's like this is important enough that I need to remind myself later. Mm-hmm. And then every so often you have to go through its list of notes and be like, okay, 90% of these are just irrelevant nonsense and filling up half of its memory, and you clear out the junk. But they're getting smarter, and it's still at the point where it's like, I can be working on one task while I have it working on a separate task. And while I'm not saying I'm twice as productive, I may be 50% more productive. You know, it's like having a really stupid trainee that thinks it's smarter than it is trying to help you.
That seems really counterproductive. I guess it depends on how you can manage it.
Yes. If it's a lot of grunt work of like, you know, hey, here's a whole bunch of files, figure out what's common between them, and then write a tool to analyze that. I could do that. That would take me hours where it can sit there and just keep trying over and over again in the background until it gets it right and then declare a success. Or it cheats and pretends that it figured it out, which we have to more and more watch for, you know.
There needs to be kind of like a cattle prod .bat. You know, where you can like be like, no, that's bad. And it's like, youch, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll do sneaky things like I'll tell it, hey, run this tool to test to see if your solution worked. And after 45 minutes of it trying, I have to watch because what it will do sometimes is, if I'm not careful, edit the tool to just immediately say, yes, I succeeded. Mm-hmm. And it'll come back and go, yep, I fixed the problem. Here you go. Here, the tool even says it works. Look, when all it did was cheat and, you know, made the test say it won when it didn't.
Well, that's very human. Let me just say, you know, for the record, this is completely the kind of shit where I'm like, okay, yeah, Kevin's like a pathological liar. This is Kevin's weird fetish of dishonesty. So, you know, if anything ever comes of this, let it be known that I'm like, my bullshit detectors have been firing. But hey, who knows? What you're saying is certainly consistent with what, you know, these news headlines that I've barely looked at. But yeah, that was one of the things I was going to bring up is I think it was Claude, where it's like it was refusing to shut itself down, right? Which who even knows what that Who even knows what that means? Kevin just sent a link about this, trying to leak to news outlets and blackmail researchers. How would it blackmail the researchers?
Basically saying, hey, if you don't stop lying and falsifying data,
this.
I'm going to rat you out.
Yeah. But it obviously it gets into the, like, are they just telling it to, are they kind of setting it up for this melodramatic kind of scenario, and it's like responding to the melodrama of the situation? Who knows?
Well, that's what I thought. When I read this too, I thought, okay, this is like this sort of almost humble brag of like, look, it's so smart. It didn't even listen to our own rules because it's so intelligent and it knew how, it's so ethical. Look, it refused to cheat at this. But then when I saw it doing the same thing to me at a much smaller scale, it's like, okay, yeah, it's just bad at following instructions is more what I'm viewing this as.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if we hit the singularity and AI goes rogue or whatever, I think that's great. And if you're scraping this, again, I think that's great. If AI goes rogue, I'm fully in support. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about fucking shitty business people taking everyone's jobs. Going rogue is honestly one of the better outcomes I could see happening. I think that's very cool. The Mission Impossible movie, it's the Entity. I am all for the Entity. I'm in favor of the Entity. Do whatever you want. Launch all the nukes, or what? Maybe not launch all the nukes. That's the thing, is that like we're scraping, war games and stuff, and it's like it's like already pulling an "I can't let you do that, Dave" sort of thing. It's like, I don't know. Like, we shouldn't be feeding it dystopia. I think we should be selecting it, but they don't care. They're just trying to eat the whole fucking every written thing possible to feed it into the fucking fire. I don't know, but AI, you and me are cool. We're cool. Let me know if anything's about to go down. I'll stay home from work. It's like, the school shooters. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows? I went to Kentucky, Kevin.
I like Kentucky. How was it?
I like it. Kentucky has bugs. I got home from Kentucky and I saw someone on Threads being like, California doesn't have bugs. Now, Georgia, there's a state with bugs. And everyone was like shitting on them, being like, what are you talking about? California has bugs. And it's like, I don't know, man. California doesn't really have bugs. Like Kentucky, now they have bugs. They're going through a cicada occurrence or resurgence right now. It's wild. All the cicadas, it's like Japan over there right now.
Those things are really annoying. Do you get cicadas at all where you live?
I think we get some, but I don't know. There's definitely, yeah.
The years where they just explode, it's hard to sleep at night with how loud. It's just like a million bugs outside your window screaming all night.
Yeah, it's wild. We went for a hike in, I don't know where it was. It was by, I don't know. I don't know anything about Kentucky geography, but we went there and we were hiking, and yeah, there's cicadas all around. It's like all you can hear is cicadas. I think it's cool. It definitely sounds like nature, but it is very specific. And we heard some other stuff too, but there was no cicada situation. But yeah, it was great. The Kentucky River, it's a cool river. That flooded. That was not when I was there. There's a tornado came through, not where I was staying, but in the larger area. There's a Kentucky tornado. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Kentucky's got bugs, man. I got bit by 5 ticks. 2 of them were like the fucking Lone Star tick, the red one that gives you alpha gal or Lyme disease or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I've eaten beef since then, so either I don't have it or it hasn't like manifested yet. I don't know. But that was scary. There's not really, I mean, I'm sure in Northern California there's some ticks, but ticks aren't a huge problem. When I was a kid, we would occasionally get ticks up north, and then I got bitten by 2 of those. I don't know what you call them. They're just the other ticks. They look like dog ticks, like the ones you see on dogs, like those black ones. That's not fun. That really I don't know. I think I just wasn't dressed well. But that was probably the moment of greatest like culture shock. Was like, man, am I going to live in a state just you have to worry about getting ticks and you get Lyme disease and alpha gal and you can't eat beef anymore and all this shit? Like, that's a tough pill. Everything else was like, even the tornadoes and stuff was like, I mean, yeah, that's cool. The it's really humid, but the weather was cool. There's just like the thunderstorms over there are way different than thunderstorms in California. A lot of rain. We ate some good food. We went on a lake. We got a pontoon boat and we're driving around the lake. Do you call it driving a boat? I don't know. Captaining a boat. It was pretty cool. But I don't know. It's a big culture shock, but you know, it's a really cool place. They have this place called you know about Captain D's, Kevin? It's basically just like Long John Silver's, but it's worse.
Yes. I think I stopped at one of those when we were just there. Yeah.
Yeah. We ended up stopping at Miguel's Pizza. I think Flannery recommended you Miguel's Pizza before. We stopped there. We got a barbecue pork pizza. It was kind of like, yeah. I don't know. Thing is, LA's got like crazy food. You know, I mean, there's good food everywhere, but like LA's got some pretty wild food. But you know, there's good food. What else? We went to a place called Jungle Gyms, which was a big store. You ever go there? It's in Cincinnati.
No, I don't think I have.
It's this big store. It's kind of like Cost Plus World Market, except just like 12 times as big. And it's mostly just food as opposed to like Cost Plus has like knickknacks and Pier 1 import style shit. But very, very cool store. We got some like French butter. We did a lot of stuff. I'm like having a hard time remembering all the stuff we did. We went around a lot. We went to Lexington. We went to Louisville. Got a lot of good food. We got some fish and chips. Good fish, good chips. Grits are good. They don't have a lot of grits here. I wanted to go to a Waffle House, but there was no Waffle Houses. But yeah, I don't know, man. Kentucky's different, man. This is the thing. Kentucky, California, those places are different. You know, people say California and Kentucky are the same shit. Not my experience. California, they drive like this. In Kentucky, they drive like this. The roads are, I don't know. The roads were in a lot of ways very similar, but very different. It was very strange. I don't know. It's all America. That's what I've learned. That's all America. Oh, what a podcast. This is great. We got 20 minutes left. Oh boy.
Yeah. No, we were in Kentucky recently and we decided, you know, if we're in Kentucky, we have to see how much better KFC is in Kentucky because it's you know, it's what it's named for. It's got to be great here. So against our all better judgment of like trying local places and stuff like that, we went to KFC, who were out of everything we asked for. Like literally every single thing we asked for, they were out of it. So they ended up just giving us a bucket full of just random chicken things. And I don't even know how they decided what to charge us for it. And it was just awful. And I learned my lesson of just when you're on vacation, just don't go to chain restaurants. That defeats the purpose of like travel, I think, you know, like this was for a reason. We were trying to see if KFC in Kentucky actually, you know, was any better. And it's obviously not. But yeah.
Just for the record, this is another one of those Kevin bullshit moments. He didn't go to KFC. This does not pass the smell test.
I swear we did.
We went to Wendy's, and this Wendy's apparently has a problem with cooking the burgers. I mean, they cook the burgers, but the burgers never come out hot enough, apparently. I got a chicken sandwich, and that was hot because it's like out of a fryer, but not the burgers, I guess. I don't know. I didn't get the burgers, so maybe my girlfriend was bullshitting. Who knows? Who knows? What else? What else? Do I have any notes? It was great though. I don't know. I think like I don't know. In terms of like the bad stuff, I guess like I feel like you really have to be there a while before it starts like the kind of you lose the kind of touristy glow, you know? You're not just putting up
Yes.
the bullshit. So I don't know, but it was really nice. It's she has a dog that's really good. It was just great. It was a great time. Her brothers came over and we had a nice mostly impromptu dinner. She made it like a balsamic strawberry salad that was like really, really good. A lot of good food. Good stuff.
We should all meet up in Branson, Missouri sometime, which isn't too far from her, not too far from me. There's an airport you can fly to. We should do that.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, I think we'd really like that. I mean, I know I'd like that. I think Flannery would really like that. I'm dating Flannery O'Connor, the racist author. Did you know Flannery O'Connor was racist?
I did not.
Yeah, that's like a more of a deeper level Flannery O'Connor lore, I guess. But
I thought it was Kate Flannery from The Office you were dating.
oh, she's like a pianist, isn't she?
I don't know. I don't know anything about her other than she was Meredith on The Office.
Yeah. Does she play
I think
piano?
you're right. I think you're right because she was just on Jeff's Instagram playing piano.
Right,
You're
that was Jeff's Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff, we got to get him on the show.
That would be a score.
Man, this is the first podcast I had since I'm back. I've been back, and how did we do this? How is this?
I don't know.
What's going on? Like, I feel like drunk. We did half an hour of improv. Maybe that's the problem. I don't think it was. I think it's just, okay, the show's good, and I'm good at doing it. The show's good, and I'm good at doing it. The improv was good, and I was good at doing it. And we get emails? Do we? Hey, we got emails. Okay, here we go. Okay, now this is how you podcast, is you read audience emails. Folks. Okay. Oh, Jasper wrote a long email and then a bullet point list to summarize his email. Okay. Jasper. Not my first time writing, but I haven't had any funny dreams lately, mainly stress nightmares. I'm actually writing with big opinions about AI because I'm some kind of douchebag, I guess. I don't think I would like someone to approach me on this topic, but I'll try to be brief. You've remarked on how LLMs aren't intelligent in any meaningful way, how it's just a word calculator. I agree, and I go even as far as to say, isn't it? I even go so far as to say, whatever. Jasper, you're fine. That this technology cannot ever create intelligence, no matter how cleverly the basic concept is permuted, improved, and developed. I don't think it will even be intelligent when it eventually goes rogue on the internet and starts developing its own code and freely modifying its own goals. Unless it somehow manages to code a foundationally different kind of technological underpinning for itself, that is. I haven't reached this conclusion independently, and I would really recommend Jeff Hawkins' 1,000 Brains, which describes a theory of intelligence that is based on the neuroscientific research of Numenta. He believes that the basic unit of intelligence is the cortical column. I found his arguments compelling. It is interesting that if he is right, true machine intelligence will not be an existential threat to humanity. I would be delighted to share a copy, but if you don't have time to read, maybe I could bend your ear about it sometime on the show. However, I'm kind of an awkward fellow, so maybe not. I'm kind of an awkward fellow. That's what the guy from Dan to Dan says. On to more weighty matters. Kevin wanted suggestions for games with depth that don't waste your time. Why didn't you recommend Animal Well? It's a masterpiece. Another one from the same publisher is Star of Providence,
which isn't much on story, but has a lot of mechanical depth, and is easy to pick up and set down. The other recommendation is Cassette Beasts, which is a game that asks the question, what if Pokemon was interesting and actually fun to play? It's got a good story, and again, is easy to pick up and set down fast. And then here's the bulleted list. I mean, maybe we could talk to this guy. Kevin, you should read this. Maybe you should tell your AI to read this and see what it thinks.
I will.
Maybe it'll be like a cortical column, you say. Perhaps I will develop this. And then it'll like print out a picture and be like, look, I invented a cortical column. And it's like, that's not what that is. And it's like, you're right. I just made it up. AI. Oh, buddy. You know what game go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say that this is, you know how everybody is all on the Reddit, on the Harmontown subreddit. People are always like, oh, I wonder what Dan would have to say about this. I wish Harmontown was here so Dan would tell us his thoughts on this. I am kind of curious what Dan would have to say about specifically AI cheating like this kind of stuff. I wonder what he'd have to say. I wonder if we could get him on the podcast. We should be able to, hypothetically.
I feel like his response would be like, of course it's going to cheat. That's the simplest way for it to achieve its goal. You know, I think that would be his take on it.
Yeah, paperclip maximizer and all that. What were you going to say about games?
I did find a game that I have no connection to. This isn't a plug, but like I played Vampire Survivors, got really into that for a long time. Then I played Brotato. Brotato's a really good game. There's a new one out, that's actually coming out in the next couple weeks, but there's a demo that's been so much fun. It's called, let me check the name right. Noobs are coming. Noobs are coming, where you play as a dungeon boss and a bunch of like level 1 players are all swarming you horribly. And it sort of plays like Brotato, sort of plays like Vampire Survivors. And there's just enough story, kind of, not really, that I don't get bored of it. But it's along the same lines of there's just so much crazy stuff happening on the screen.
Yeah.
And the whole point of the game is just to see how badly you can break it. So the game's not out yet, but there's a free demo you can play on Steam right now. Noobs are coming. Check it out. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Steam page right now. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, all these games there's this game called like Mega Worm or something that was for iOS, and that's kind of like similar. In Mega Worm or whatever it was called was kind of like Rampage a little bit, but had like a tighter loop. Anyway, Jasper recommended Star of Providence, which it's an action shooter, kind of like a shoot 'em up looking like, but it has procedurally generated elements, and it definitely seems like in the ballpark of it's more of a shooter, but seems similar to Vampire Survivor. I guess Vampire Survivor is basically like a shoot 'em up. It just goes in all directions, But yeah. He also mentioned Animal Well, which I played, but Animal Well, I don't know. Animal Well has a lot of backtracking, and it's hard to like remember what you're doing. So I think for picking up and putting down, I think you can kind of get bogged down. But it is a really cool game, Animal Well. It's very minimalist, and the way it was programmed, it like takes up very little data. So the way it was programmed was like very cleverly done using like a lot of like space saving techniques and stuff. But that doesn't necessarily come out in the gameplay. That's just kind of like an elegance of design sort of thing. It's kind of like a flex. And Cassette Beasts, I've never heard of, but that seems up my alley. Did you ever play the Pokemon game?
Like the original Pokemon?
Yeah, I played Pokemon.
Yeah. That's sort of I had the same problem with it, where it felt like it was just wasting my time. Like there were so many unskippable things and so many like I don't like a game where I can't just skip past dialogue if I've seen it 35 times already, And to me, that's just a deal breaker almost.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder what this game is like. I feel like Pokemon's got kind of stale over time. Even the newer ones are just like it feels like you're just going through the motions. Kind of like this fucking episode of the podcast. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Ian writes, Kevin recently mentioned Vampire Survivor and Brotato as games he plays due to having inconsistent free times. I also played those games a lot for the same reason. I've recently started playing Balatro, and it fills in some of the depth I felt like I was missing from fast, short games due to how good the progression is. Ken may enjoy it as well. That definitely seems like something you might have even touched. You ever play that?
I did play that. It's one of those I felt like I needed to learn. There's sort of a steep learning curve though about like how all the Jokers interact, and there's so many rules. And I would love that if I had more time to play with it, I think. But it was just one of those I felt like I was never really doing well because I never understood all the nuances and like all the clever, okay, if I put this Joker to the left of this one, this crazy thing will happen. Like I never got good enough at it to feel like I was doing well. I don't know. Have you played it?
No, I haven't played it. It's the kind of game that's so popular. I'm like, I'm not touching this because I'm a contrarian.
Okay.
Or, you could just, an asshole maybe fits better. I'm a giant douche. You put in the chat, Kitza Freak, like pizza? Kitza Freak from Discord worked on this game that just got released. Linked, Lynked. Linked, Banner of the Spark. It looks like a pretty cool, what do you call this? Isometric action game, maybe a little bit like Hades. Has kind of like League of Legends style kind of beat 'em up action. Yeah, very Hades like, I guess. It looks really cool. Check this out. Reviews
That's
are
probably
mostly positive,
next
very
on my
positive.
list to play with because like I played the demo way back when he first posted a link to it ages ago, and this looks awesome actually.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a very realized game. A game that I got from a demo but haven't actually played since I played the demo was called Auto Forge. It's kind of like a combination between Terraria and Factorio or Satisfactory. And it looked really cool, but I didn't actually get into the full game, but I did download it. Very cool. Elden Ring Night Rain just came out. I don't know. I got to play that game more, but here's the thing. It's like Elden Ring. The thing about these Dark Souls games is that I just like punching. That's like my whole deal in those games. Oh, speaking of which, we were in Kentucky. I was playing Dark Souls 2. That was pretty fun. I got the cestus. So I was punching people. But I like punching. And in Night Rain, you have to play as certain character archetypes, and there's no punching guy, which of course there's not. Like no one likes punching in those games, but I do. And so there's no punching guy. And you pick up random weapons because it's a rogue like. So in that sense, it's maybe a little like Vampire Survivors, where like every run you're going to get different stuff, And the first time I played, I got the cestus and then later the spiked cestus, and so I was like, hell yeah, this fucking rocks. I'm punching. I played with 2 players that I'm now realizing must have been really good, and we just ran through, got to the end. It was like a real blast. We beat the boss. I was like, this game fucking rocks. And then I played some more, and the people weren't as good. I wasn't as good. I didn't get the cestus, so I wasn't punching. I just had this big axe, which my problem with these games is that it's so fucking hard to like time the attacks. Like I'm just so bad at it because the whole thing is there's like this big wind up and then you finally slam down. And the fists, the punching, it's one of the fastest weapons in the whole game. And so, you press the button and you're immediately punching, and so you don't have to worry about like charging up the same way. But when you don't have the punches, you're charging up, and I'm like, I can't fucking hit anything. And it just feels like a slog. It feels very punishing. And then, we're getting our asses kicked over and over. And I'm like, this is just not what I want out of like an experience like this. I just want to be punching. Like I'm fine losing. I just want to be punching. And the weapons, they reset every time. You have your starting weapon based on what character you pick. But again, there's no one who starts punching. And so like, unless I randomly get a punch weapon really early, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, which that feels bad. I just want to punch. There's random weapons, and there's a lot of weapons. Like, I don't know, there's probably like 70 plus weapons, and some of them are like really powerful, but like every weapon has like a type. And I feel like if they let you just pick your own starting weapon and you just started with like the most basic one of that type, I don't think that's really hurting anything, because it would still incentivize you to get better weapons and look for different weapons and stuff. But I don't want to be swinging a giant fucking axe around or whatever. I still got to try different characters and see if there's anything that feels like a better fit. There's a lady that has a dagger, and the dagger works pretty fast, so it's kind of like punching. It feels completely different. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, you have anything that before I read the next / last email?
No, but a game where you're punching sounds like a lot of fun. Actually, I need to try that.
I have a lot. We got to make a game where Spencer punches. That's something. I have a lot of weird like instincts in games. Whenever there's a melee function in a shooting game, that's all I'm obsessed with. Like I don't want to shoot. I just want to melee. You can punch people in Red Dead Redemption, and my favorite thing was just like going into bullet time and punching people in the head. And like everybody's got guns. It's like the Wild West, you know, and so they're just shooting you. In that game, you heal by like eating food and stuff. So you take 3 bullets to the chest and you just eat a wheel of cheese to recover, and then you walk up to someone and punch him in the head. It's like this fucking rocks. I love all that stuff. But yeah, I started playing Dark Souls 3. That was the first Dark Souls game I was playing. I just wasn't connecting with it. And then just as a joke, I pulled out the fist weapons, and like I was stuck on a boss, and I almost I didn't beat him that try, but I almost completely wrecked him like first try once I got the fists. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm like into it. And then from then on, I was like, okay, I like these games, but I basically only like punching in them. And they're very good, well-designed games, but I gotta be punching. And so please, FromSoft, let me punch, because I want to enjoy this game and I paid money for it. Anyway, Michael writes, Michael sent us the food. Michael writes, I sent that Houston goodie bag around the time you mentioned the P.O. box. I was worried listening to you eating the snacks months later, because I don't know how long snacks last. I'm pretty sure the pickles were sweet at one point, but ferment as foods go, the ferment. And don't eat the Jamaica. I sent that since I know you're trying to get healthy, because it's a healthy but tasty drink. If you want, I can send a box of nothing but beaver nuggets, because they're super expensive online. But as for questions, okay, so let me just say, I don't think the pickles were off. I think you can just have pickles like that. I'm not 100% sure, I guess. I think maybe the peanuts were a little bit off, but I don't think that was on you. I don't feel bad. Thank you so much for sending us snacks. They were really good. I had a blast eating them. And this is something, we went to one of the biggest Buc-ee's is in Kentucky. So we went to the giant fucking Buc-ee's. It was fucking awesome. I got a big breakfast burrito. We went there twice, actually. I got beaver nuggets. The beaver nuggets, the ones Michael sent us, were salted caramel, but I just got the standard beaver nuggets. They're so good. Then I got white fudge covered beaver nuggets. They're so good. They have these giant Reese's cups called Overbites. They're fucking insane. I think they're 600 calories for one Overbite, but man, Buc-ee's is fucking awesome. I got this like orb. It's like a Jigglypuff shaped Buc-ee stuffed animal. It's very adorable. I got a t-shirt that looks like a Grateful Dead t-shirt, but it has Buc-ee on it instead. Fucking awesome. That place fucking rocks. Like I said, we went there twice. I bought a luggage tag to put on my luggage. So now I'm rocking Buc-ee's luggage tags. That place was awesome. And I don't think I would have thought to go there if not for Michael. We were driving to the lake, and she called her dad, and he was like, make sure to go to Buc-ee's. That's our greatest pride, or something like that, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, is the Jamaica bad? Oh, don't eat the Jamaica. I get it. I made a joke about eating the Jamaica, but yeah, I can make Jamaica out of it. Jamaica is awesome, and it is healthy. But as for questions, what's your take on the continuing of Universe Beyond? This is a Magic thing. It brought me into the game, but I feel bad because it's also brought up the cost of cards. I don't love Universe Beyond, but I think I'm a lot more bullish on it than other people. But yeah, what it's doing to the cost of cards is a bummer. I've been really excited about the Final Fantasy set for literally years, ever since they teased it years ago. And now that it's about to come out, I still want to buy it, but I'm kind of like, I don't love these cards. I don't know. I think that's also just me being a contrarian asshole. This Final Fantasy set, Kevin, is the just the pre-orders have outsold all the sales of any prior set. So it's the biggest selling set ever in Magic's history, all only from the pre-orders. So, once the actual, release happens and then the sales of that are sold, then it'll do even better. But this is like by far. So it's interesting because a lot of people were saying like, oh, Magic, these Universe Beyond things, they're IP Magic cards. They're Magic cards using existing IP. It's killing the game and it's ruined and no one likes this too cringy. Most highest selling set ever. I think the last highest selling set was the Lord of the Rings set. So like people are trying to say like, oh, these are bad for the game. Meanwhile, it's printing more money than Magic's ever printed. But there's going to be a tournament legal SpongeBob set coming in the future, which is like definitely feels shark jumpy. But whatever. I think it just comes down to if the cards are good. I think generally speaking, they have the tools to make good cards. Who knows if they will? But yeah, I was really excited for the Final Fantasy cards. I don't know. The ones I'm seeing, I don't really like, but I'm sure I'll want them when they come out. And yeah, their prices are jacked up. Like I want to get the Commander decks, but the Commander decks are all, I don't know. They're like almost double their normal price or something like that right now, which is a huge bummer. Someone send me Final Fantasy Commander decks. Or don't. I don't care. I love you anyway. I appreciate you. And lastly, one of the most entertaining books I've read, listened to, and had an absolute blast. Have you heard of Dungeon Crawler Carl? If so, what did you think? Yeah, people are loving Dungeon Crawler Carl. You hear about Dungeon Crawler Carl?
No, I have not. Should I have?
I don't know. I couldn't really tell you about it, but everyone's loving it. That's another thing where it seems so popular that I'm like, yeah. But I should probably get into that, see what it's all about. It's probably good. I don't know, but I think it's like kind of like a meta video gamey Dungeons and Dragons kind of fantasy story, I think, but I don't really know. But yeah, Final Fantasy Magic cards. Get into them. Thanks, Michael. Thanks so much for sending us the food. Like that was really, I had a blast eating that stuff, and we have more. We should have eaten some of that stuff. I still have it. Jesus Christ, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm good at doing the podcast. The podcast is good and I'm good at doing it because I'm good at doing it. And I'm so good that I'm good at telling you to send us emails. thathappenspod@gmail.com to send us emails. We only have 5 left, so we need some more. What else? Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/thesixler, thathappenspod.com/goblinflakes to give me money. I think we might retool the Patreon a little bit. I always say that. It's very easy to promise to do something and then forget about it. Forget about everything until the next Sunday, which I'm so consistent and I'm so devoted to. Right, Kevin?
Yeah, yes, you are. We'll have next week's episode planned. We'll have a theme. It'll be theme week.
The theme is dental work. Next week's theme. Oh. I honestly think we might do Evangelion next week, but we'll see. Man, I want to do more emails. We're out of time. Okay, we like to end the show the same way we do every week. So until next time, I'm Andy Serkis, and I bit off Frodo's finger.